Hey there, and welcome to Nmap, Network Scanning Basics and Advanced Techniques. My name is Jason Wood, and I'll be your instructor for this course. This section is our introduction to the course, and we're going to start out talking about the problems that Nmap is designed to solve. Now, originally, it started out with the idea that folks were interested in computer security. They wanted to see what hosts were out there. There were a lot of different port scanners available. Kind of smaller though, purpose-built type of things. And so Nmap was written to try and discover systems and hosts or ports, open network ports, on networks, be it on the internet or on internal networks. Now today we still have that same problem with us and that same goal in mind because it's not uncommon to be inside of an environment doing an assessment and find that the organization doesn't have a good handle on exactly how many hosts and what services they're running. And in fact, I've heard examples recently where organizations talk about thinking they had 3,000 or so servers, only to find after an assessment they had something like 9,000 systems. So that's the problem we're trying to solve. We don't know what's out there on our network. We don't know what systems we have. We don't know what applications they're running. We're going out trying to discover these devices, and we want to do so in a way that provides flexibility to the users, or Nmap is attempting to do this, provide flexibility for the users to customize the behavior of the scan according to their needs. So it has a ton of flexibility in it. We're going to talk about that, and it's a very reliable tool. One of the things that Nmap is known for is having accurate results and being very useful to system administrators, security professionals, security enthusiasts, and other hobbyists. Now, this course has a few goals. One of my primary goals for you is to improve your skills with Nmap. That's why we take this, right? It's just to get better with the tool. We're going to start off learning the basics of the course, and by the time you're done, you should have a pretty good handle on being able to run a fairly straightforward scan. Then we're going to look at extending your skills out into some of the advanced techniques. Things like the Nmap scripting engine and customization and performance tuning, and where do we go to get help, and what types of port scans are there, and when do we want to use them. We're also going to talk about really how to go out and do an assessment of a network. So this is going to be kind of a theme throughout. Probably not going to have a specific lesson on it, but you're sitting inside of a network. How do you decide what's there? And how do you assess whether or not that's expected or not? We'll talk about how to adapt these scans to the problems that you're facing. And really what I'm looking for here is I want you to understand how Nmap works well enough to be in a certain situation and realize, hey, if I try and get Nmap to work in this way, this will get me what I need. So, if you can get the handle on where to go get help and all that, you'll be able to do that adaptation as you face specific problems. And one of our main goals throughout this is to do our scans safely and accurately. The last thing you want to do is be known for somebody who's providing bad results because we didn't configure a scan properly and do things like maybe knock down a service or saturate a WAN link, and now all of a sudden bandwidth is restricted for critical applications, and that's due to our scans. So we want to avoid that. We want to make sure that we're getting good, accurate data that we're reporting up. Now, as far as course requirements, you're going to need a computer that is capable of running virtual machines. And you could install Nmap on your own desktop and work with it and do most of the things we're going to talk about here. But I like having things inside of virtual machines, primarily so that I don't clutter up my primary use machine. Now, this virtual machine that you'll use can be running on Windows or Linux or OS X. We're going to be working with Kali Linux. That's what I'm going to recommend. Your underlying host should have at least 4 gigabytes of memory. I would recommend 8 though. More memory is always better. And you want to have at least 20 gigabytes of disk space for each virtual machine that you want to run on your system. You're also going to need a connection to the internet. One of our targets is going to be out there publicly accessible. So, we need that connection. As far as virtualization software and what would I recommend, I want to keep this as inexpensive as possible for everybody. So what I would recommend is looking at VirtualBox or VMware Player in the free version. Now, both of these are, like I said, they're freely available. If you already have VMware Fusion or Workstation or VMware Player Pro, that'll work as well. And but that has some cost with it, and so there's no need to run out and buy something you don't need. Or maybe you have a specific virtualization app that you prefer to use. Be my guest, of course. Feel free to use that. But those are just a couple of recommendations for you. Now, throughout this course, you're probably going to hit some points where you have some questions, and I would love to talk to you about any questions you have. We've got a couple of different options for you. The first is go into the discussion forums within the course on Udemy and just open up a post there and ask your question there. And I will respond back. And the nice thing is that the other students will be able to see that, and hopefully we'll answer some of the questions that they have. We also have a chat channel. You can go on to Discord for the Paladin Security chat channel. We've got the URL here on this slide as well as in the PDF under Resources. Or you can contact me via Twitter or email. We have that information here again in the slide as well as in the PDF. I'm really excited to share this with you. I'm looking forward to it. I use Nmap quite a bit as part of my job doing security assessments and penetration tests. So I really enjoy talking about this. I hope you enjoy the course, and I look forward to seeing you in the next section. Thanks.